This last weekend out at the Stampede, had the pleasure of joining everybody out there for Colorado Jiu Jitsu Club 19. Thank you to the Pop Rockies for putting on an incredible show. You know, it's a great atmosphere, at least for me, a combat sports junkie, to go out there and spend the afternoon watching jiu-jitsu in a cage. I like watching combat sports, period. Throw in the extra element of adversity by having to grapple inside of a cage. I absolutely love it. And you could certainly tell in this format or in this venue style, if you will, with the grappling in a cage, those who have the MMA experience, at least in my eyes, seem to have a bit of an advantage when it comes to competing against guys who are strictly grapplers. And that's just because you're used to having to work off the wall. You're used to having to control or work out of some of these positions, as we saw in the main event of the prelims with Zach Lindsay, who took on Cody Sher. Zach Lindsay, a veteran for us as well with Colorado Combat Club. This was a blue belt gi match. He went out there and controlled the action. He used head positioning and cage control, working off of the fence to ultimately be able to find his trip, gets an action down to the ground, and ultimately finds his submission via arm triangle. You know, like I say, that's you saw just even the initial bull rush attack from Zach Lindsay. That's something that we've seen from him in his MMA fights. He's a big, strong, athletic kid with a collegiate football background who is not afraid to use his blessings. He has that quickness along with the strength and the power. Why not use it? And especially when you have the opportunity to do so up against defense there, I applaud nothing. I completely applaud it in that situation. We had a devastating injury in one of the matches, but that's just a part of it, especially when you're talking about grappling specific matches and the way that the leg lock game has improved over the years. The younger Radich brother out of 10th Planet Parker, he had a nasty heel hook victory that I swear, I mean, I was sitting cage side. I thought that the pop and the snap of his opponent's knee was his opponent tapping. That's how loud the pop of this man's knee was in that process of the heel hook. And, you know, I mean, his opponent was in good spirits after, was hopping around all that. Yeah. And people were, well, maybe it's not too bad. No, that's bad. You know, when your ACL is completely gone and is left to chat, you're able to still do something just because it's gone and the stability is no longer there. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be some time for that young man to be able to recover and go through the rehab process following surgery. But in time, I'm sure that we'll see him back out there. We had a back and forth affair between D'Anthony Muniz and Luis Rodriguez. Luis Rodriguez is a kid who, I mean, he goes all around open mat to open mat. He rests his hat at 10th Planet Parker, but trains all over the place. Always a great attitude on the mat. I've had the opportunity of having a couple rolls with him at an open mat, and this dude is a certified beast. He took on D'Anthony Muniz, now of New Era Jiu Jitsu, and that was a matchup where you saw in the early stages, D'Anthony was able to kind of work those top positions and was able to control the action in its place as it was. But Luis also said after the fight that he had a bad rib injury coming into that week or coming into the week of the matchup, but he didn't want to pull out, so he only did what he was able to do and controlled his bursts. Well, we did see a lot of showmanship from Luis. I mean, it was Nick Diaz-esque at times, the way that he was not necessarily taunting. I mean, you could some people might call it taunting out there, but more or less trying to get D'Anthony to engage with him. And I mean, I found it entertaining. I thought that it was great showmanship, a little bit of talking back and forth between the corners. He was talking to him while they were going through transitions. A fun matchup all the way around. Once the opportunity came in the second round, you saw Luis be able to shoot that front headlock, goes into the gator roll, sinks up that choke, the anaconda, and was able to find his way to victory. All around great matchup to watch. You know, I would definitely say that those two guys are competitors on the submission grappling scene out here on Colorado that you should have your eyes on, because they're fun to watch, and they're going to go out there and they're going to put forth a skill set that's worth watching on that pro stage. Then in the main event, you had, I believe it's Chad Myers, who took on Nico Radic. That was a matchup with Radic being the former main event of our last show there at Colorado Jiu Jitsu Club at the 18th show, and that guy is so flexible and bendy, especially in the lower half. You know, they called their October there at 10th Planet Parker. They called it Leg October, and you know it's no wonder why, because all these guys seem to just have completely rubber limbs, and his attacks are relentless when it comes to going for the lower body. Then from Chad, you saw a lot of explosive athleticism. You saw Nico go inverted right away to start the match. Then you had the front flip to counter right out of that. You know, it was fun to watch, and then ultimately we saw Myers come away with the victory by armbar. He jumped on that quick. That's sometimes the danger that happens when you're fishing for those leg locks. Sometimes you leave your arm out a little bit, and someone who is that quick and explosive to jump on the attack the way that Chad was able to, that's what's going to happen there. Stick around after the break, though.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by
Fan Cave
on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio.